The draft. The draft. Night 2 of the draft. What do we got going on in the draft tonight, folks? With more picks on the way, and I'm sure additional picks, I'm sure currently happening right now on the Raw Talk show, because we got additional draft picks after SmackDown on Talking Smack. I didn't really even know about the additional draft picks until like the next day, Saturday and whatnot. But yes, what does the draft night 2 have going on, huh? Because, of course, who else will be picked from Raw and SmackDown? We do kick off the show with Becky Lynch, though. Becky coming out talking about, hey, the man's back on Raw and everything. She could be coming, which she did announce she was coming to Raw, which is no surprise. We'll get to the draft picks in a second. But Becky says, she was going to make some executive backstage changes around to whatnot. And a lot of people are unhappy with the pick. So she says she's the first pick for Raw, and basically, you're on my time right now. And since Becky says she is the first pick for Monday Night Raw, she says she never technically lost the Raw Women's title. She had to give up the belt. Well, we all know what happened, so that is true. But, listen, I guess it's been a while since she beat Charlotte, and she wants to do it again, become Becky 2 belts. Next thing you know, Charlotte came out, who is the Raw Women's Champion, which, funny since both of these two will be on different shows. We'll get to that in a second. They might as well just switch the belts with each other. But then again, these draft picks don't go into effect until after, October 22nd, the day after Crown Jewel. So that's when all these draft picks will be effective. But Charlotte kind of stopped the whole Becky 2 belts chant thing going on. And that Becky was pre-show before you could even beat me. She said, I made you famous. Charlotte basically said that Becky, you should be looking up to me because you don't know what brand you're going to be on. So we got unfinished business and whatnot. Bianca Belair came out, Raw's newest draft pick, saying she's got unfinished business with both of y'all and whatnot. And she said, you guys must be threatened because you guys want to take cheap shots at me on SmackDown. And Becky says, I am going to be the EST of Raw. And because now she goes here, Flair went on. So, your comments are cute, but listen, the champions are trying to have a conversation right now. Fans chanted Charlotte sucks in. But Bianca says, yes, you are here right now. But technically, you don't even go here anymore. So you're not even on Raw no more. I am. And Bianca basically told Becky, you don't get your girl because you don't know me. And Flair says, I'm no girl. I'm a woman and whatnot. Charlotte basically, listen, I know what you've done and everything, but you haven't done as much as me, and you need to be asking for an autograph. But Becky says, hey man, it's kind of disrespectful right there. Okay, I think you should go against Charlotte. You got to fight her. Okay, you gonna let her say that about you? Charlotte says, I only give out opportunities, not charity and whatnot. Bianca basically was ready to fight until Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville came out announcing the main event, which would be Charlotte versus Bianca Belair and whatnot. But the U.S. title is about to be on the line right now between SmackDown's newest draft pick, Jeff Hardy, going against Damian Priest. But before the match could even begin, we did start the first round of draft picks. Becky Lynch going to Raw, no surprise there. We all saw that coming. The Usos going to SmackDown. I'm surprised they did this in the first round, given that Roman had told Heyman, listen, if you don't get the Usos back on SmackDown, you're going to be left for dead on Raw, which the Usos did celebrate. And Paul Heyman basically, is just a sigh of relief and thanking God that it's over right now. Bobby Lashley staying on Raw. I kind of was hoping Bobby Lashley and the rest of the Hurt Business would be going to SmackDown, given that Bobby Lashley has done everything he could on Raw, and he was the WWE champion and whatnot. I would expect him to probably go to SmackDown and go after Roman, but they still want to keep him on Raw. I actually kind of thought Bobby was going to be going. Sasha going to SmackDown. She was already on SmackDown, so that's not much of a surprise. Damian Priest did go against Jeff Hardy for the U.S. title, though. Good match. Jeff did do the swanton, but it looked like he hurt his own back. And Priest ended up rolling him over for the win. They talked to Jeff Hardy after, basically saying, it's going to be different. It's going to be an opportunity to show a different side of him, a different ego, which I'm hoping anything for Jeff Hardy right now, they do something with him. So I'm so glad they brought his music back, but this new change or whatever they're bringing to SmackDown with Jeff Hardy, maybe they'll bring the Willow. I would like to see the Willow. Again, I haven't seen the Willow since TNA, but if they got something new for Jeff Hardy, I'm all for it. That's all I really care about. Austin Theory did come out there then, basically saying, listen, I apologize for, interrupting your interview. I mean, no disrespect, but listen, it's a dream come true to be in the same ring with you. So he wanted to take a selfie with Jeff Hardy. He took a selfie with him, and then he just clotheslined Jeff Hardy and hit him with his finisher and left him on the ground. Then, so trolling Jeff Hardy for a picture, that was pretty good. But Austin Theory making I should be saying a re-debut for Monday Night Raw. I forget Austin Theory was on Raw about a year ago and whatnot, which I didn't feel like he needed to be on the main roster anyways. Given that, I thought it was random that they brought him on there and they put him with Almas and I think Garza was there. Thomas made like a makeshift Los Ingobernables and everything. And then they kind of put him with Seth Rollins then, and that didn't really go anywhere. And I'm not going to get into the whole speak out or, Me Too bullshit and whatnot, because the guy still had been, keeping his job and beating the case anyway. So, hey, that tells you how accusations work. People should look into more information before, jump to conclusions. But getting to the point, though, yeah, Austin Theory basically was on NXT most of the time, and he was with The Way. I like Austin Theory, though, okay? I thought he looked like more of a creative wrestler at one point, because I feel like he needed something or a gimmick, and I think that The Way kind of at least showed a personality and whatnot, but now him being on Raw, I do hopefully something good goes for him on Raw in this re-debut of Monday Night Raw, since he's not going to be with The Way anymore on NXT. So we'll see what happens with that. Randy Orton, Riddle in the back. Riddle, bro, is that a snake in your pocket? Are you happy as I am? But Orton talked about AJ and Almost, that they will be going against the Crown Jewel for the tag team titles, and now he wants to go one-on-one with Almost tonight. Shayna Baszler came out to go against Dana Brooke, which I remember the last time I even seen Dana Brooke, mostly when she was with Mandy, but she was on her own. But before they can even begin that match, they did announce the second round draft picks. Seth Rollins going to Raw. I'm not surprised by that. Come on, Edge is on Raw, so they got to continue this feud. And Becky, that's his girlfriend and whatnot. I'm not surprised he's on Raw with her. Shinsuke Nakamura and Rick Boog still on SmackDown. Damian Priest still on Raw. I was kind of hoping the Intercontinental and the U.S. title would switch shows. I was kind of hoping for that, but not happening. Sheamus going to SmackDown. I'm cool with that decision. Sheamus did a lot on Raw. Sheamus did put in some hard-hitting matches. He put a lot of work in on Raw, okay? So hopefully something big for him is on SmackDown. Shayna Baszler destroyed Dana Brooke, careful clutch. Baszler was still beating up Brooke then, but Doudrop came out and just had a stare down with her. Doudrop went to help up Dana Brooke. Baszler hit him from behind, but Doudrop no-sold it. I don't know where this is going to go, but we'll see what happens, which I'm going to get into more of them in a second. Usos and Paul Heyman, I guess, were leaving. And Heyman says, I'm the warden and the influence of the Uso Penitentiary. But then Kevin Patrick asked him, how about you negotiating Brock Lesnar's status as a free agent? Usos basically stared a hole in him as they walked off, then leaving Heyman right there. Humberto and Garza went against Mustafa Ali and Mansoor. We know Mustafa Ali and Mansoor going to SmackDown, which I should be getting everybody in SmackDown in a second, but Humberto and Garza obviously must be getting some type of push going on, given that they're a tag team, which I'm going to get into more of that in a second, but, that's something to think about. I don't know, this team may work. I don't know how, but it may work. They are cousins, so we fought each other the longest, but now we're going to be a team all of a sudden. AJ Styles are almost still on Raw. I'm not surprised. I was kind of hoping AJ going to SmackDown, but not happening. Shayna Baszler going to SmackDown, which I'm somewhat surprised by that, which she does need to change the scenery, given that they looked like they were going to re-push Baszler on Monday Night Raw. Basically, beating the hell out of people on Raw. We are seeing her kill Nia Jax, looking like a dying seal out there, and destroying Eva Marie and whatnot, so I am surprised she's going to SmackDown. But she needs to go. Kevin Owens, thank God, is going to Raw, because I needed him far away from Happy Corbin and Madcap Moss. But hopefully something for Kevin Owens works out for him. Xia Li going to SmackDown. An NXT pickup. That's surprising, given that we have not seen Xia Li on NXT since the Raquel Gonzalez match, which I believe she was legitimately hurt from, and that TN Shaw stuff. I don't really think that's gonna last any bit longer. I don't think Bo is really that good, anyways, on NXT. And the whole Mei Ling or Orochimaru or whatever Tongan death grip things going on with that, I expect that gimmick to be dead very, very soon, given that Xia Li is now headed to SmackDown. So that is interesting. We'll see what happens with that. Big E came out. Talk about how the New Day and himself are once again on separate brands. And he talked about how he beat Bobby Lashley and still retained the WWE Championship. But then he wanted to call out Drew McIntyre since he did come out there last week. And Drew came out. And listen, he's been drafted to SmackDown, but I got some unfinished business on Raw. Okay, and everybody's been thanking you on Twitter and whatnot, congratulating you. But I'm going to do it the old-fashioned way and come out. You have my respect. You deserve to be the WWE Champion and whatnot. And but now I'm going to be coming after that title. Okay? Because McIntyre basically said, you cashed in on injured Lashley and whatnot. And, similar to what happened to him, even though Miz cashed in. But Drew says, I'm challenging you for that WWE title. Roode and Ziggler came out then, which, by the way, we have not even heard if they were drafted anyways tonight. But they came out. Ziggler basically said, I should be congratulated and whatnot, okay? I've held both of your careers. If everybody remembers, Big E was Dolph Ziggler's bodyguard back in 2013. And McIntyre, teaming back with him back in 2018. I just want to thank you and whatnot. But, basically, I'm the one that upgraded both of you guys. Roode said, he puts the body in bodyguard and whatnot. And basically told Big E, the Peter called Big E and whatnot. It's not going to work, okay? Because basically, they should be getting some thanks and whatnot. But McIntyre and Big E, though, basically you got something coming, an ass whooping and whatnot. And tag team match, I don't know, Drew called himself the Big D and Big E. Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people are going to be thinking different when they hear Big D and whatnot, but that sounded very corny. Big E and Drew McIntyre did go against Roode and Ziggler. Big E and Drew won the match. But yeah, Big E and Drew getting the win. Basically, right after they beat up Roode and Ziggler since they tried to attack him, Big E basically said, I'm going to see you a crown jewel for the WWE title. So I guess that's official right now. Reginald, once again, dodging everyone in the back, of course. 24/7 stuff. Truth, Maverick, Jackson Riker for some reason, and stuff. Everyone's just, dodging and whatnot, okay? I guess they run Apollo Crews and Commander Aziz since they're on Raw right now. And Reginald basically went back running because of the chase. And Crews says, I told you it'd be exciting on Raw. He's telling Commander Aziz. Kevin Owens came out then. I guess we were going to hear some type of promo from Kevin Owens. But we didn't hear anything from Kevin Owens because they sent Tozawa out there basically saying he wants a match against Reginald for the 24/7 title. Owens ended up in a stunner on him. Hopefully something goes out well for Owens on Raw. So something's got to work out for him. Street Profits, was this the round 4? Street Profits going to Raw. Not surprised. Viking Raiders going to SmackDown. They desperately need to change the scenery. So hopefully something good happens for them. Finn Balor, which I am surprised is going to Raw, given that he hasn't really been on SmackDown that long ever since he left NXT and whatnot. So I didn't really expect, I actually kind of expected Balor to be on SmackDown a little bit longer than going back to Raw. I know he just only had one match against Roman and whatnot, the whole Universal title thing, but yeah, I thought he would have been on SmackDown a little bit longer than putting him back on Raw. Ricochet going to SmackDown desperately needs a change of scenery, so we'll see what happens with that. Rhea Ripley and Nikki Ash running against Natalya and Tamina for the tag team titles. Ripley and Nikki getting the win, not surprised one bit, so nothing much to say from there. Round 5 of the draft. Cross staying on Raw, not surprised. Humberto and Garza going to SmackDown. I guess they get a new push, so put them on a new show, so that's kind of surprising too. Bliss staying on Raw, not surprised. Cesaro staying on SmackDown. Where was Cesaro? I didn't even know Cesaro was still on TV right now, so I haven't seen him. But then again, Cesaro staying on SmackDown, it's whatever. Goldberg came out. Goldberg called out Bobby Lashley after the whole Gage thing. And Goldberg says he's inviting Lashley to come to the ring so he can break his neck. Lashley said, I'm getting tired of you and whatnot. Listen, you knew the risk, and your son did too. But listen, I'm not going to risk ruining my suit to whip your ass again. I'm not dressing like it's 1998 out right now. It's character assassination, what you're doing. And you owe me an apology. But Lashley said, I'm going to give you what you want at Crown Jewel. And it's going to be a no-holds-barred match. You can bring your kid along, too. But Goldberg basically says, now I have a license to kill. And I'm going to leave your lifeless body in the ring. And, I'm going to have to tell your kids what happened too, okay? That you're dead. Man, Goldberg really is about to murder. He's really into this whole murdering thing right now, I see. So he wants to kill anybody. But Lashley cut off Goldberg's music then. And listen, you can't kill the Almighty. And who's watching your back, huh? And next thing you know, the Hurt Business, Cedric Alexander and Shelton Benjamin come out, but attack him, but end up being taken out very easily and whatnot. So they're taken out by Goldberg. Seth Rollins is interviewed in the back, almost like he's in party mode right now, saying, hey, we're not going to talk about Edge. It's celebration time. It's party time with the Seth man right there. So the Drip God himself, if he's not invading people's houses, he's out here partying. New Day went against a Hurt Business then. That's kind of odd to say, which I guess they were gotten their asses whooped, as the commentary team said, but only got hit by 2 moves. One would say, are they buried out here? In a way, yes, to get killed by Goldberg and then beaten by the New Day in 2 minutes, who are going to a new show. Woods was basically saying, crown me since the King of the Ring tournament, which we don't even know who's in the King of the Ring tournament right now, but Woods has always talked about being King of the Ring in general, so maybe he'll get his chance this time. And Shannon, we want the smoke, as the Street Profits came out talking about the New Day in that Undertaker or Escape from the Undertaker movie on Netflix. So yeah, New Day versus the Undertaker right now. But they wanted the smoke, and they all drank from the cup then. Randy Orton and Riddle came out, calling out Almost again. AJ Styles and Almost came out basically saying, listen, we're going to take those tag team titles and shove it back in y'all faces every week if we have to. Almost basically we'll have to call out Orton for the whole challenge. Orton attacked AJ, then a bit of a brawl happened. Orton ended up hitting the RKO onto AJ as Almost still stood and whatnot. So I guess we'll finally get a match from them next week. 6th round, I guess the final round of the night. Carmella, Raw. Of course, Corey Graves is going to have an orgasm and whatnot, basically because he's hitting that right now. Ridge Holland, SmackDown. I'm very surprised by that. I know he's been taking a lot of L's lately on NXT, but I thought they would keep him around with Pete Dunne for the time being. But I'm very surprised he's going to SmackDown. Gable Stevenson going to Raw, which they did go to his family and whatnot, of him being drafted, almost like the NBA or NFL and whatnot. I am surprised Gable Stevenson is drafted. I thought he honestly would have went through NXT first. Maybe he's a fast learner. I don't know. They probably know that from what they've seen, okay? And they paid this guy a big contract and a lot of money and a lot of good incentives to do what he's doing right now to be in WWE, okay? So he's got a very great-looking contract right now with them. So I don't know when he will ever debut. Maybe he really is that good, especially if they want to put him on Raw that fast and not even send him through NXT. Yes, the guy's an Olympic gold medalist and whatnot, but folks got to stop comparing him like he's the next Kurt Angle or something, okay? Let's see what he actually do first before making those comparisons. Yes, both are Olympic gold medalist winners and whatnot, but we don't know what Gable Stevenson can do yet. We don't know. We don't know when he's going to debut on Raw, but he is going to Raw. So I am very surprised by that. And honestly, I thought he would have gone through NXT, okay? I'm surprised Ridge Holland is still going to SmackDown. I actually thought either LA Knight or Taya would be going to the main roster, but apparently not. Maybe it'll be through the additional draft. I don't know. Sami Zayn going to SmackDown. He was already on SmackDown. So, yeah. Main event, though, Charlotte versus Bianca. Honestly, I would have saved this match for a pay-per-view match, which this is a really good match. But what happens, it ends in a DQ because Becky attacks from the commentary table, which I'm not surprised. And again, why book this match if you don't want any of these two losing? But Becky ended up attacking her, attacking Bianca. And then Sasha Banks came out and attacked both Becky Lynch and Bianca Belair as Sasha stood tall to end off the show. So, not surprised by that because they did it last Friday on SmackDown. So, I'm not surprised there. Overall, though, I know it's going to be more draft picks overnight or through the Raw Talk thing. I don't know who's on it yet, but I also will find out either later tonight or tomorrow. I will say this about the draft picks. Some do have my interest. Some people really need to be moved off this show for obvious reasons, but a lot of surprises, though, when it comes to this draft. Some NXT call-ups. Gable Stevenson, I really didn't expect that, so we'll see what happens there. But some people desperately need to go, need a new change of scenery and whatnot. Some picks, though, were still either predictable, or some guys just didn't even really move at all and continued to stay on the same show, okay? Honestly, I wouldn't mind if the Hurt Business went to Smackdown, but obviously that's not going to happen right now, and maybe we'll see what happens in an additional draft. Maybe we'll have to see what happens to Benjamin and Cedric and whatnot, because honestly they need MVP right now to complete the whole package of the Hurt Business again, okay? But yeah, Raw, though, tonight with the draft going on, night 2, like I said, some very interesting picks and whatnot that went on, so we'll see what happens. But then again, a lot of this does not go into effect until October 22nd, so that's when we know, well, that's when the draft will be in effect, and then everybody will go on to the, their shows. But right now, it looks like anybody is showing up on Raw and SmackDown before the Crown Jewel happens later in the month, okay? But other than that, though, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter at HoodieKnight890. We will be back tomorrow night for NXT reviews, or 2.0 review. We'll just say NXT. We don't need to say 2.0, but yeah, NXT tomorrow night, okay? So I'm out of here. See you guys later. Peace out. Fuck Gail Kane. Done. Peace. See you then.